11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our weekly wrap-up of 2A. And looks like we got a poll going, and G23's first one out there, so I'm guessing that's his vote in the poll. If you want to participate in the poll, it's over there in the comments on the YouTube here. So each week we take a look at what was good for the week, and we've got it in the description of this video. We're also going to take a look. I tried a new thing on Instagram to try to save things on Instagram throughout the week. Starting with the first thing in the description there is this presentation that David Yamani gave to Outdoor Writers Association of America, OWAA, this month, and is interesting. There's a lot of stuff in there that I don't think is correct, and he's uses as foundations of his presentation, so that would be an interesting one to dissect or have a discussion about. And it's interesting, he says that the gun culture 2.0 is the self-defense focused culture versus hunting and what was the other one? Hunting, collecting or something, which he called gun culture 1.0. And then he talks about a bunch of things about how he interprets the data about new gun owners. So super interesting, worth listening to. And he replied, so he's paying attention to his YouTube, which is new. He's been posting his stuff on other platforms until recently. Let's see. Then you got, GunTuber Academy posted some stuff. And the first thing is this policy changes, the Clovers I'm not supposed to talk about, or what I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about. So he's been working on things, and he posted a video where he talks about a little bit of it. And then you got, this is Clover's presentation from Amm-Con. So this week, beginning of this week, last weekend was Amm-Con. I don't know what that's supposed to stand for, but it's 2A media convention or presentations. So this was Clover's presentation that he worked on for fellow Second Amendment gun content creator or Second Amendment content creators. Let's see, then Clover had Chris Cheng on Monday, which was pretty cool because after the gun rights policy, or after Amm-Con, which was live, and I think they were both there, right? They still got together and had a live chat, which was worth listening to. They talk more about NFTs, something, and fungible tokens or something, I don't know what they're called. But basically electronic versions of collecting items, I guess. Then that was, I tried doing this thanks. So you can go to people's videos now, and there's like a button you can say thanks on there. So I tried doing that. That was the first one I did, is super thanks, which is sort of like a super chat after the fact. So it's kind of neat. Then you got Chris on Crump's show talking about NFTs. And that was a little bit different because the people weren't getting it, and they had live conversations. So you have a little different, kind of a live Q&A. You have like the live responses to the questions. Let's see, then we have Santee TV had a great interview with Rambo TV, or Black Rambo. And that was sort of an interview while Black Rambo was driving around, just chatting about stuff. Super cool, very insightful, and Black Rambo's pretty cool dude. So you get to see a lot about that guy, or learn a lot about that guy. I didn't see it yet, but Echo had Guns and Barbecue on. I think that was earlier today, so we linked to that. There's just a quick video here to give you a demo of what the girls are doing out there. So that's a link to that video. It's like 15-second video. And then you've got Amm-Con here. So Amm-Con happened last weekend, and it is what it is. It'll be difficult to figure out which order to watch them in, because whenever I looked last, they hadn't really labeled them or anything, but at least they were streamed up to YouTube. An attempt was made, and you can listen to some of them. Some of them have poor audio, but I suspect some of the people may have recorded their own sessions like Clover did, and then they'll look for them to record their own session separately. And then, well, I guess during Amm-Con, what's-his-face keeps saying that Dianne Feinstein invented the word assault weapon, which is false, and posted a video about the magazine that I bought from 1985 that is the first use of assault weapon since the Nazis invented the term. You know, in the middle of World War II, the Nazis invented the term, and then it was brought back by this specific gun writer here in 1985. And then, yeah, Feinstein used it in the 90s or whatever as well, and they all dug into it at various times when they need to go after rifles, when it suits them. Let's see. Can't walk, having trouble. That sucks. Well, hopefully this gave you a couple moments to take your mind off of it, if that helps. Can't say that that's the point, but if it helps, it helps. But let's see, so then that's about as much as I've got this week for the description of the video. We'll go over to Instagram, and I tried saving things, and let me see if I can reclaim them off of here now. Oh yeah, down here maybe, saved. So I've tried saving, oh, I see how this works. I just tried saving a bunch of videos or a bunch of things, posts over here, and we'll use that to, yeah, this looks like it worked. So I think we'll just go to this one and assume that this is, oh no, this one's from September 14th. That's a while ago. Then this one is from the 26th, and then this one would be from 7 days ago. So here we go. All right, so this is a post from Charlie, riding shotgun with Charlie, posting from the airplane. Pretty cool. He was working on things on his way to Amm-Con in Dallas, Fort Worth area last weekend. I thought this was pretty cool. Marines are always aware of each other. They stay Marines. So this was a silent drill that happened in DC for these old guys. And I don't know if these old guys are like drill or if they're just Marines, but they definitely enjoyed it. This one's from the Department of Defense, but this is something called Honor Flight Network, and it takes veterans to DC to let them see the memorials. It's pretty cool. I think I can just go left on these. So this is one of the gun clubs that I follow. It's pretty neat, and I think a couple of these people have been showing up in some of the like new community type videos that are going around and people introducing themselves and stuff. So anyway, this one was one of the youth shoots that happened recently. So there was one up in Utah, and this one, I don't know where it was. It says Bass Reeves Gun Club. If you don't know, Bass Reeves is the dude that the Long Ranger is based off of. Bass Reeves Gun Club Youth Firearms Education Committee ran its second successful education and training week and made it possible, or we made it successful. What made it a success was our youth. They showed up to be attentive, ready to learn, and applied their knowledge. Talked about safety and blah, blah, blah. So 2-day situation for the kids, right? And that's pretty cool. So there's a couple of things that have been going on recently that are shoots for the kids. Let's see. Then we got FPC talking about how politicians come and go, but the right stick around. They do a good job of getting visual versions of their points across, right? Visually getting their points across. So that's FPC being posted by San Diego gun owners, which is a great group to follow. Super active, both defending venues for gun shows, helping people get their CCW education and awareness, and then just rocking on social media, which is, I think, a whole nother skill set that a lot of the organizations don't possess. Now we got Utah Shooters, the other youth weekend that happened recently. This one was in Utah, and it was outdoors. And this was a post to say thanks to all the volunteers, really. So you see a very, what do you say, like diverse set of shooting, what's the word? Like they shot rifles and archery and pistols and everything else. This one is from a gun shop in Tulsa that I guess was visiting the World Skeet Shooting Museum in Hall of Fame in San Antonio, but that's the closest thing to a skeet shooting museum that there is in the competition world. It's not the closest thing. It's one of what I'd consider museums in the competition side of things. So there are no museums for anything else besides shotgun that wait a minute. At least I'm aware of. There's no museums for anything besides shotgun, but I think there's a shotgun museum in Illinois or Indiana, and then at a big range, I think it's in Illinois. And then there's this one in Texas, San Antonio. And this is where the skeet shooting, I think the Skeet Shooting Association or the governing body for the sport is headquartered in San Antonio. So that's where they made their Hall of Fame, and then that became their museum, or I'm calling it a museum. And I've never seen anything about it because they don't brag about it or talk about it ever. So these are the only pictures I've ever seen of the Skeet Shooting Hall of Fame and Museum. So right off it says the last professional industry shooter. What does that mean? Unless this is most current or something like this changes out, but I don't. And that also struck my eye as to why they would claim that when they're saying there's no more professional and industry shooters. I don't get that. Anyway, so this is at least some pictures of the place. You only seen a couple of them there, and then they must really like engraved shotguns, I guess, because most of the pictures here are engraved shotguns. However, this is some people from a gun shop who went to the museum Hall of Fame, and this is the pictures they decided to post. So insight, but at least you get to see what the building looks like. And it's kind of what you'd expect to see. A big old manufactured building that is, clean and new, because it's not that old. And then, basically holding in display cases all the different memories of the shooting sport. All right, so next we get to Pink has a post, and I thought it was interesting because they got a giant pumpkin festival in his town, and he's posting about that. Clover had Chris on Monday, and they posted this picture. But that's the reason they're posting that picture is that's the magazine that is going to be NFT'd. Let's see, why did I post this one? I guess because a bunch of people in Pennsylvania aren't talking about this, as far as I knew, when I clicked on this 5 days ago. But I guess there's been some bill in Pennsylvania to require background checks on ammunition. Remember, that's what it was like in 1968 through 1986. Everybody hates the Gun Owners Protection Act, but it stopped background check. Well, not background checks, but it stopped having to write your name and address down every time you bought ammunition. So they've attempted ammo regulation in the past. Nobody remembers it. Let's see. Then we got Rebecca Schmoy talking about Chris. She actually posted quite a few of the people. I guess she might have been there. I'm guessing because these are pictures. Bunch of picture people from Amm-Con. And then this is Chris's post about his discussion at Amm-Con about NFTs. It's complicated, I guess, because people aren't familiar with it yet. It's not commonplace, so it's theoretical a little bit, and because of that, people aren't getting it, or they're refusing to just understand it easily, I guess, absorb it. So obviously a lot of people have been asking him a lot of questions about it. So Foss was pointing out that Wheeled and Well Armed had some swag, and he grabbed a bunch of it. Looks like a bunch of different magnets and some playing cards. Kind of interesting. This was at Amm-Con, posting pictures of folks that they were hanging out with. Allen Anchor, great company out of California that is making patches constantly. They're not made in China, and they're cool. So go check them out. There's links to them all the time. And they do stuff on Instagram, which gives you a heads up on their new designs and stuff, which is kind of neat because they're constantly making new ones. So you'll see ones that are coming, and then their Instagram will tell you when they're actually hitting, when they're available for sale. You got this Guardian Long Range. It's just been interesting watching. They're doing another shoot. While their shoots aren't for kids, they're all ages. So there are kids at these shoots, but they're not just for kids. Since we've been talking about kids shoots this week. This one I thought was neat. USPSA has got a map thing going, so you can find matches in your area. I don't know if anybody pays much attention to that. We don't have a lot of people showing up tonight, Tara and G23 chatting, but I'm wondering how many of the competition shooters are using stuff like this. And then, I don't know, another story. So then you got Stephen Hallbrook, who's an author and a researcher. It's got an interesting page to follow. If you go check out his page, he's got posts similar to this. He'll post historical things or things that make you think, things that make you maybe give you an extra perspective or a little different angle on Second Amendment stuff. Pretty decent page to follow. Almost posted, I think he posts just about daily. Anyway, this was about a World War II Soviet sniper who had like an estimated, oh no, that's all of them. Her deal was she served 11 months and she had 300 confirmed kills of Nazis, including 29 enemy Nazi snipers. In this photo, she's holding a Tokarev, but she said she preferred the Nagant, which is more accurate because of the bolt action. So it's a kind of posts up there, kind of interesting. And obviously, it's a colorized version of a photograph of her. Oh, there's my Kojos out there also. GSSF is a good, Tara saying, I do GSSF. It's the only one that meets my area. So GSSF is the Glock Shooting Sports Foundation, and I think they're probably the best shooting sport everyone should be a part of. You have to own a Glock. So first off, you got to get rid of whatever glitches you got for all those people that are anti-whatever. And it's a 4-stage match or something. It takes you like half an hour to shoot it if there's not a line. But I've been to them in Vegas where we didn't even shoot, I think, because the line was so long, the wait was so long. So they're not a long match to shoot, but they can be popular. But so that just gives you time to BS with other people and to have, you exercise your right to assemble occasionally. But yeah, the GSSF matches are very low stress. You don't have to run around. You stand somewhere. You don't have to draw. And that makes them accessible. Sorry, it makes it so that they can host them in all different kinds of places. You don't have to be outdoors or in some elaborate match type of scenarios or anything. You just need some steel targets, really. Actually, I guess they use steel and paper or cardboard or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I would agree. GSSF is fun. And you can win, like, I think they bring a Glock to every one. So there's going to be multiple Glocks given away every week or every weekend. Yeah, very cool. I have a bad back, some kind of drugs. Got a 10 zone, that is. All right, so then Complete Combatant is this Shelly and the other guy, her husband, Brian Hill. And I thought this was a cool logo. I've been watching their stuff anyway because they're having some issues trying to keep their facilities and whatnot, but they've also got some, I guess, things happening often. But anyway, they've had some other stuff I've been watching, and I thought this graphic was cool, just showing the idea of like keeping your mind working or something, maybe, or programming your mind or whatever. Just thought that was a cool graphic. Good chance to an opportunity to talk about their project. Speaking about educational stuff, Black Guns Matter, Homage Trey is doing things at kind of ahead of the game or ahead of the curve, and often that makes people wonder what their core piece is. And pretty much the core of Black Guns Matter is to bring education around to like cities for free, and it goes around doing education or little impromptu classes or free seminars type of classes, or shows up at places to give guns, a seat at the table at different events and things, and then other things, of course. So since he's got a diverse set of things that he does, I figured this was a good example of the type of training. When you hear people talk about training and blah blah blah, it's not ninja rolls and stuff. It's more like awareness and insight. So maybe here's a sample. Oh, how do you do this? Like
Continue today to talk about transitional spaces. Very important as a person that carries a firearm for your personal protection to be aware of this concept, what it is when you're in them, and how to move accordingly while you're in them. A transitional space is pretty much what it sounds like. When you're in a space that is transitioning from one location to the next. Example, when you leave your home to get into your vehicle, that space in between is a transitional space. On a bigger note, while you're in that vehicle, getting from one location to the next building, transitional space. If you're driving that car from one state to another, that's a transitional space. Again, a transitional space.
So, just kind of throwing some ideas out there and explaining them, doing that in the car, dropping it on Instagram. So it's, in this case, 4 minutes long. It's pretty cool. So I think, again, it's a pretty good indication or example of kind of stuff Black Guns Matter does. So this one was pretty cool. Every once in a while, Instagram will just show you whatever. And if you fall asleep watching Instagram, who knows what the logarithm comes up with to show you. So it came up with this. I don't think I can make it any bigger. But this is some kind of place where you drive vehicles through critters' backyards. And this rhinoceros wasn't having it that day. Sick of that car. And you can hear the dude saying stuff in the background. He's like, oh. So right there, the car's driving. There's somebody in that car still, and they're trying to drive it. It's pretty crazy. So that rhinoceros still ain't done. And here's what that car did. It came up, and it shouted something like, blah, blah, blah. And that rhinoceros was like, nope. So, yeah, just thought that was pretty good. Another reason to drive a van. So no rhinoceros is doing that to my van. It has nothing to do with 2A. This also has nothing to do with 2A, but like I say, Instagram will just send you dumb shit sometimes, and this was the opposite of that. This was amazing. So somebody made this curly cube thing out of clear, and then they shoved their dogs down it, and they got a ton of dogs, and the dogs hate it. They can't stand the idea of coming down this tube and then coming out into a pile of other dogs. So also, if people are constantly worried about what could happen and horrible, then remember that somewhere out there is a shit ton of puppies going down that clear tube whenever they feel like it. I like to think that there's a stairway that they go up and then come back down that clear tube. I guess all these got piled together somehow. So the last thing we'll talk about, I think, is the last one, is this two kittens wailing on each other. And again, anybody's going to give you a bunch of dire, it's all over, there's nothing you can do, they're coming to get us. What is it? Biden won. He's out-strategized us. Pelosi wins. She's better than us. All that kind of crap. Just remember these kittens over here wailing on each other. And both of them are pretty intent. Both of them are doing their job. You can tell they're little tiny panthers in there, but they're also babies, so it's pretty fun. All right, that was the last one. And what I'm doing now is going to Instagram, and whenever there's something good, let's find something good. Okay, here's Gabby Franco. She always does something good. You click on this thing, right? And now it puts it into my saved ones. So when I go to my main channel, I can go to my saved ones, and then Gabby should be, come on. There, Gabby will be right at the front there. So then if you want to not put them in there, just unsave them. And then, right, they're not in there anymore. Well, there, now they're not in there anymore. So I'm going to take this thing out of here because I definitely don't want stupid, like, rhinoceros shit on my feed. Even though this is interesting, I don't want this stupid channel on my feed. And then we'll watch this one last time, and I'll turn it off because I definitely don't want this stupid kitten crap in my feed. So just showing people, if you want to try doing your own list of Instagram stuff that's awesome, just save the stuff. You can either save it and put it in a folder. Let me open this in a new tab so that we don't lose it. When you go to your channel and you go to your saved file, you're going to see that I've got things saved as separate folders. So this is all the ammunition pictures. And I guess people can look at these. This is a bunch of stuff from like Shooter's Almanac, a bunch of different dates and things. Makes it easier to find when you're going to repost or do stuff with them. A bunch of 9mm posts. These are informational awareness posts against metric. And then so forth, right? So you can save things into folders, make it easy for you to find them, give people more stuff to explore on your Instagram channel. And then like this, we can take the most current ones, use them to talk about what's current on your channel and or on the gram. And then in this case, we'll watch these little kittens fight again. And I guess we're ending it because that's about all I had for tonight. So thanks to the people that showed up for live. I'm not sure how long I'll be doing it live or not, but you may have been here for the last live one. Thanks to Makojo and G23 and Justin and Tara. And we'll be back to pick you up later. Thank you for supporting our projects. If you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, check out our Patreon channel.
The guys and gals at gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thank you for watching gunwebsites.com. Do 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 do.